Welcome back to Batman Arkham Origins. We're hot on Bane's trail, I guess, because we have no one else to go after right now.
Okay, so I misread the text that came up, and instead of reading Bane's Field HQ, I read Bane's Field Ho. So now I'm just imagining Bane out farming, like still wearing the costume, but he's just like mowing some fields, planting seeds, milking a cow, putting the cow over his head and snapping it in half when the cow doesn't give enough milk. Farmer things.
For
Just make
for
hamburgers out of
some
it.
reason, my mind jumped to Die Hard 3, and that scene at the very end where the bad guys think they got away with their big heist, and everyone is celebrating, and the main villain and the woman who works with him are just like very obviously about to get it on, and then John McClane shows up to blow shit up.
Yeah.
I don't know why my mind jumped to that movie. I hate that movie.
With a vengeance?
Yes, he does hate that movie with a vengeance.
I like Die Hard 3.
So is this supposed to imply that Bane knows Batman's identity?
Okay.
Yeah, he knows his
I
identity.
like Samuel L. Jackson in Die Hard 3, but the rest of the movie can go suck a duck. Okay? That's basically the only redeeming factor is Samuel L. Jackson's character.
If I go into a Dara with a vengeance tangent, I'm going to forget everything about Rise of Skywalker
Oh,
for later tonight.
now you know when this
Then
is
I'm going to
recorded.
call. I'm going to talk about Mace Windu. It's like, you mean Samuel L. Jackson? Yeah, that's what I said, right?
Well, who else do you cast as the only man to ever beat the Emperor in a straight-up lightsaber fight? You know?
Uh, no, Yoda didn't really win. He would have, but he ran away. Well, actually, no. Sorry.
No, I thought he lost that
No,
fight.
he lost. Yeah, I'm misremembering the movie. He basically
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, I'm not winning, so I'm going to run away.
Well,
Great Batman. I got glue all over
they
your
were
suit.
fighting in the Senate chamber, and they were in a forced struggle in the center platform, and they blew each other backwards. And the Emperor, who was bigger and has longer arms, was able to hold onto the platform, while Yoda slipped and slid off because he didn't have a good handhold.
He should have used the Force to lift himself.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, Jedi and Sith seem to be able to lift each other with impunity, but when they try to lift each other, I guess they can't. It's a
I
little
guess
like Harry Potter. No one knew how to fly without a broom until Voldemort suddenly did it, and then. But you can just levitate another person by their ankle anytime you want. Sure, no problem.
nobody thought to do it.
Well, in Harry Potter's case, it's because nobody could do it until Voldemort figured out a spell that worked. But and when it comes to force levitation in Star Wars, there was the scene in Revenge of the Sith where they're about to fight Dooku and Dooku flip jumps off the balcony when he walks into the room. In the book, he gracefully hovers down, and he does it again in the Cartoon Network Clone Wars miniseries, where he can levitate downward in that too. I have no idea why he doesn't do it in the movies, though.
Because it's,
Probably harder to
Oh, that was a
do
CGI Dooku anyway.
No, I know. I'm saying at least doing the flip, it's over in 2 seconds versus having to animate something that takes a lot longer and would probably look sillier in CG.
well, I think they could probably do that with practical effects by, getting him in a harness of some sort and,
But
blowing the wind over him.
then it's obviously 80-something-year-old Christopher Lee's stunt double.
Well, they could probably do it with Christopher Lee. It's not a particularly intensive stunt.
You'd be surprised if you're dangling there for
Oh, yeah.
a while.
You get a better lightsaber battle if you just added in lightsabers in Gandalf versus Sauron.
Okay, I need to point out that wizard's duel is really lame. Because they're wizards. They're the most powerful entities on Middle Earth, and they just kind of stand there and shout at each other. And, he pushes him with magic, and that's it. There's no lightning bolts. There's nothing above like third level.
Did I get that name right for the record? Is this Sauron or is it Saruman?
Saruman.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's one of my
actu-
favorite jokes in DM of the Rings is that they get to the end of the second book and it's like, okay, Saruman's dead, we won. It's like, no,
Here-
that's not the bad guy. It's like, no, Saruman, he's the guy who made the ring. No, that's Sauron. It's like, oh, you expected us to not get those names confused. Okay.
The thing about the Lord of the Rings, though, is that it doesn't have very much in terms of actual action scenes in the book to draw from. Like, whenever a fight happens, it's just sort of blandly recounted at you after the fact.
Also, wizard magic stuff in Lord of the Rings is very preparation based.
Oh, they're the boring kind of wizards. Oh yeah,
Ted, a reminder: this was written in the 1930s and 40s.
I know, but they're the kind of people who play D&D. Oh yeah, I'm gonna wait 15 hours for when the bad guy gets back to his lair and have him walk into my magic trap that creates a force cage. Boring. You play
Okay.
wizards. Boring. Throw
Okay.
a fireball at him.
Okay.
Do it fun. You have the best spells in the game. I'm sitting here playing a ranger where the coolest thing I can do is, oh, I made vines. They can walk slower on that 3 grid spaces for a few turns.
Okay,
All right,
first
use
of
your
all-
cool magic.
First of all, that's a druid, not a ranger. Second of all, okay, you think spell memorization is a pain? Play like some of the old school Ultima games where you have to buy spell ingredients and combine them manually to prepare.
Oh, nobody
your
keeps
spells.
track of spell components.
You have
yeah,
to do
you
it.
wanna-
In old school Ultima, you have to buy the spell ingredients and you have to prepare the individual spells one by one.
Oh, imagine there probably are some DMs who make you roleplay that too. It's like, okay, I go to the magic shop. Hello there, good sir. Welcome to my shop of magics. Please have okay, I just want to buy the cat litter and leave. Okay, nope, you have to go up to him, find the cat litter, talk to him, pay for it, and then leave. Oh man. Don't ever DM like that. I will punch you in the face.
The thing is, preparation-based gameplay can be really engaging. The original Witcher was really good about that.
Oh no, it can. I'm just like being a dick, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there's a certain feeling you get from that kind of thing when it's done well. It just rarely is.
Who is that? Your bat conscience. This is your bat conscience speaking. Do not send men onto the bridge.
You will not send people onto the bridge. You're a Batman, not a Jedi.
Can I be a bat Jedi? Does Batman just think that he won't know where he is because he's crouching?
It's not a matter of that. It's that Gordon can't see and shoot at him if he's like that.
So wait, so is this the police station?
No, this is the bridge.
Oh, why was he there then?
Because Firefly is causing problems.
I mean, I guess, but it looked like some sort of like they had
Well,
computers
we're
set up.
we're under the bridge,
Oh, okay.
and you know
It's
all
like,
the maintenance tunnels and
yeah,
all
the
that
maintenance
stuff.
station,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
station basically.
All right, I guess that makes a little bit more sense.
So after the warning, he just can't get a hold of the officer who was going. Oops.
Yeah. Oopsie doodle.
Which I think it's applied to be was it Brandon? I think it was like the douchebag.
I think so.
So it's like not much loss.
I mean, he has a wife and kids. You know, she's
Does he?
expecting at the moment.
No, I don't think he. I don't think he has.
I don't believe it. Not that asshole.
Okay, look, being an asshole has never prevented anybody from getting laid before. Okay, I shouldn't say anybody. It hasn't prevented that many people from getting laid before.
But hold on. Like, there's a difference though between getting laid and committing to a relationship and having kids.
You can have
with your
kids
family.
without having to commit to the relationship.
Also, plenty of
but-
plenty of douchebags have.
I'm saying there's
wives
a difference
and
between
stuff.
having sex and having a commitment.
You
What's
don't
a
need
commitment?
you don't need a commitment to have kids. You just need to forget the condom.
Yeah, but there have also been plenty of people who have been wound up with kids they didn't want but stuck with it anyway and are douchebags. I'm just saying, maybe you should think about what Brandon's life situation is before judging him so hard.
Brandon doesn't strike me the type that has the temperament to have a committed family.
You know, maybe he's working on himself at the moment.
You know what? You know what? If Brandon has a family, I think his family can use his life insurance policy far more than they can use him.
Yeah. And in that way, Brandon is selfless.
Okay. Now, here's the question. Do you think Gotham City actually has decent life insurance on their employees?
Well, you know, it's early.
I mean, they're police, so I would imagine they have pensions and stuff.
It's early days, so I'm pretty sure all the insurance companies haven't had time to rewrite their policies to exclude Batman incited deaths yet.
I mean, what do you think this is, Ted? Angel Grove?
You know what? It's the cheapest city to live in the States. So, you know, there's that. Having to move every week doesn't necessarily help, but, you know.
You know, this can't be Angel Grove, and I'll tell you why. Because when you look around, you can see the actual city. Angel Grove was kind of just a cheap set, so the only time you were ever able to see the city was in the Megazord battles, which weren't even filmed in the same place. So
how the Power Rangers spent their budget always confuses me. Like when
they don't have a budget. Zordon does everything.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about when they're making the
it's mostly really, really cheap cinematography for the American characters, and a whole bunch of editing wizardry for everything else.
Yeah, but
because they just buy the footage from the Toku series.
Yeah, but when they do get a budget, they spend it on taking the cast skydiving instead of I don't know, a background.
Well, that was for the movie, and that was actually a pretty cool scene. It established the friendship between the characters really well. I actually quite liked the skydiving scene in that movie. But having said that, okay, the editing, if you actually do research into the Sentai series these things are based on, the editing is fucking insane. Did you know the White Ranger comes from a completely different Sentai series from all
that's why the White Ranger and the rest of the Power Rangers are basically never on screen together.
That's actually
And the series the White Ranger is from is basically a kid becomes a Power Ranger.
Did you know Zordon was a bad guy?
In the original version, yeah.
What?
He was what was it called? Dai-Satan or something?
That's
basically
bonkers.
He's Satan.
That's some Samurai Pizza Cats level wizardry.
Yeah, and in the original version, they weren't Japanese teenagers. They were ancient warriors frozen in time, and they were thawed out to fight the bad guy.
Is that why they have dinosaur powers?
Yes.
Oh, man, that's cool.
Also, the dinosaur Sentai wasn't the first, or even close to the first. So.
No, but this
Sentai's from the
I
70s.
think started from the 70s, yeah.
So
I mean, there are elements of it that started in the 60s, but the actual idea of a group of people in bright color coordinated
colorful
costumes
costume heroes
with giant robots and blah blah blah.
Yeah, that was 70s.
They're still making Power Rangers these days. Do they still just take the footage from?
Yeah.
Oh, oh my God.
Because Power Rangers, if anything, are just adaptations.
Yeah.
Of.
It's easier for them to pull it off nowadays because we have more sophisticated editing technology.
Also, Japanese TV is on much closer technological grounds to match with the stuff we use. Compared to back in the 90s where we had 90s cameras and Japanese studios were mostly using 80s cameras.
Yeah, there was this weird thing going on around that time where Japan always seemed to be culturally a decade behind. So, their 80s were like our 70s. It was weird.
Which I don't think was as noticeable in the 90s, given CRTs were still.
I don't just mean technologically. I also mean economically. It's they were always a step behind, for better or worse. So I
mean, they still got singing toilets, and I don't see singing.
So
toilets
their big economic boom came in the decade after our big economic boom, and that kind of thing.
I mean, you could see that even in later things, like when they did Most Extreme Elimination Challenge, which was just dubbing over Takeshi's Challenge from Japan. Like whenever they would show like people from like obviously they would have like cameras or on the rare occasion like video cameras because you're recording, you're on the show and it's a big deal, and like obviously it's a joke dub, but it's like, oh man, this camera the cameras they're holding are like, man, this shit's like from the fucking 80s, man.
You have a password lock on your bomb, and the password is flammable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Flammable means inflammable. What a country.
Well, it's better than the other password that displayed, which was explosive.
Hey man, my password's the bomb. Okay, cool. What is it? The bomb. Oh no, you didn't.
Is that THEDA bomb? Or is it just THE the bomb? And then it blows up and he's asking so many fucking questions.
Bat elevator. Oh, this poor guy. He was born named Cop.
I don't think his name is actually Cop.
It says right there. It said Cop.
I think I'll call him Officer of the Law. Is that his full name or is this his first name?
First name Officer, middle name of the last name Law.
How about that guy named Martial Law who grew up to be a martial artist?
Oh, I can't remember what cartoon it was, but there was a cartoon in the early 2000s where like a character was actually named Farmer John. First name Far, middle name Mur, last name John.
That was actually a really good joke in Sonic Boom. Like, I haven't watched a full episode of the show, but like I've seen clips and stuff, and one of them is like Sonic says, or my middle name isn't blah blah blah, and then Knuckles goes, I thought your middle name was the.
The show also has one of the best meta voice actor reference jokes probably I've ever seen.
Is it the Roger one?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
They're doing a whole, when you're doing like codec talks and you go like Roger and all that.
Yeah.
So Tails goes, Roger, Knuckles, who's Roger? Roger Craig Smith in his normal voice coming out of Sonic, he's talking to me.
I'm giving you the rest.
And then goes back into a Sonic voice. Like, it is very bit.
I'm giving you.
But I absolutely love it.
I'm giving you the rest of the night off. Batman's got a mouth on him in this game.
How did they dub that Pokemon episode where all of Jesse's sisters were the different characters Jesse's Japanese voice actress voiced?
It is Jesse's English voice actor, except for when they get to Lena Inverse. Then it is actually Lisa Ortiz for one line.
And she was the
voice of Lena Inverse, yes. In the English dub.
That's amazing. Oh man. That's still like a really cool thing that they did though, because I know that Japan really puts a lot more respect on voice acting than in general than the States does. Because I mean,
sort of.
Well, I think I think it has just more to do with how like different industries and voice acting studios are just like non-union and union based.
Well, there's also like Japan was a lot quicker than America.
well, I hope nothing happened to that later. We're gonna have to find out at the beginning of next part.
Japan was a lot quicker than America was to respect animation as an art form for all ages, whereas we took a lot longer to get out of that animation is for kids mindset.